Good morning, Appalachian Trail community. Animal and I here are raring to go. We've had a good breakfast. Fresh Ground's got us full of coffee, and we are north of Pine Grove Furnace. We're heading Sobo. You believe that? We're going Sobo on this trip. So we've done Nubbo, Sobo. Maybe we'll do a Bobo next. All right, we are going to head on up trail, and I'll see you in 20 minutes for our 20-minute check-in. Dynamo, you got anything to say before we get ready to go?
No, we got our bellies full, got a good night's sleep in the cabin, and we're headed to the museum.
All right, here we go. All right, 20-minute check-in. Probably 30-minute check-in, but looks like the day so far has been an easy day. Gradual elevation gain right off the bat, about 500 feet. Plus or minus, more like plus. And then been gradually gaining elevation the whole time. I like the gradual ones. So, man, if today could be half as good as yesterday, it'd be awesome. If you hadn't looked at that from yesterday, you need to go back and look at that when you get done with this. And it was just a really great day. Lots of trail stories to tell. So, started off the day getting chased for 45 minutes by a skunk. Craziest day ever. The only other close encounter I'd had with a skunk was when I was in the military. Me and my buddy Lou, when we got out, we ETS'd at the same time, and we bought a pickup truck for $500 in Texas. He drove it to North Carolina, picked me up, and then we headed west and drove it all the way to the Pacific Ocean and then up to Canada, up the PCH, and stayed in the truck. I don't think we ever stayed in a hotel. Ate out the back of it. We might have had a few meals on the road, but pretty much everything was eaten out the back on an old pump-up Coleman stove, the double burner green type, before there was a isobutane stove or bottled stove that just ran off Coleman white gas fuel. Had a cooler in the back, had it rigged up to where we built a box up to the side rails on it, and when we slept on top of the boxes, and down in the boxes below we had all our gear and clothes and stuff, and in the back we had this way you could drop the tailgate, pick up a door or doors in the back to get to the cooler. And this is before you had plug-in coolers. It's all ice every day. Coolers in our stove back there in our little kitchen area. And we lived like that for about a month. Just boondocking the whole time. So really cool trip to take. Had a great time. Lifelong memories with my buddy Lou. Still keep in touch to this day. Anyway, I don't know where I was going. I don't know where I was going with all that, but we did some hiking and biking and stuff like that. Saw all the sights out west that we could see, national parks, and climbed Mount Rainier. Did stay in the motel at the lodge at the top of Mount Rainier, but anyway, I have no idea why I even brought that up. Maybe I'll figure it out in a minute. Okay, had to go back and review the video to remember where I was going with all that. So we hiked into this area north of San Francisco into a park, and we were kind of on a cliff at a campsite that had two picnic tables, and the picnic tables had a box that you could put your stuff in. And anyway, somewhere in the middle of the night, a dadgum skunk came in and was up underneath it may have been the morning. I don't remember having to have a headlight, but got up underneath the picnic table trying to, and I had left like a bar or something out, so he was eating on that bar. And, we just got out of the military, so we didn't go anywhere unarmed. So I didn't carry I had a shotgun 12-gauge pump that we carried in the back of the truck, and a 38 that I'd borrowed from my dad. And I took the 38 into that backcountry site, and that dang skunk came in And I was getting ready to shoot him, and Lou's like, no, don't shoot him, he'll spray. So we were stuck there on top of our picnic tables, much like it was yesterday. But we didn't put a tent out because I had borrowed a tent from my old Scoutmaster, hiked it in. When we got out there, the tent had no stakes and no poles. So thank you, Max W. Davis. May God rest his soul. So he'd given me a bogus tent. So we just slept out cowboy style on top of those picnic tables. But anyway, so prior to yesterday, that was the only close encounter I'd had with a skunk. So anyway, that's a trail tale for sure. And then it's a great day. I met a thru hiker that had thru hiked. She's now a ridge runner, Strider, and she had thru hiked with my hiking buddy come along. Just all of a sudden, bam, ran into her. And that's crazy to run into somebody that make that. Oh, there goes some deer. Hey, deer. That's crazy to make that kind of connection up here in PA, from all the way from North Kakalaki. So we that was a great day, and then ran into some viewers that met us at Caledonia State Park, and then another one just on the side of the road. So yeah, go back and look at that. That's pretty neat. But then we stayed at the cabin last night. So awesome day. We moved north 20 miles, and we're hiking back to the cabin. We'll be going through Pine Grove Furnace there where the half-gallon challenge is, but we're doing this sobo. So we're doing it backwards, and I wasn't about to do the half-gallon challenge, no ways. So I don't care about eating a half-gallon of freaking ice cream. But AT Museum, we'll walk through there and just take a quick glance at it. And then south of there, we will pass the actual halfway point of the Appalachian Trail. So pumped about that. And even though I've done more than half of it already, still going to be pretty neat to do that. Just another iconic thing on the trail. So today should be another good day. And we'll see if what else entails for us. And then going back to the cabin for the night, having another good fresh ground supper and breakfast, and then we flip up to where we came today and head north from there. So don't know if we're gonna make the 20-miler today. Just depends. I mean, we're slack packing, so probably can, but I'm limited by how far my feet will carry me due to my plantar fasciitis. So we'll see if they give me a break and let me go the last 3.7 miles without causing any detrimental damage for the rest of the trip. All right, I got on up trail, or actually down trail. Chat with you in a bit. Well, somewhere in all them rocks is the trail. I have no idea. That's where I came from. And I do see a blaze there, so I know I'm still on it, but I don't see a blaze in front of me. So, I mean, it could go there. I think it goes there, looking at how the lichens and mosses wore off. But it's kind of like this in a lot of areas where, they're not marked on the rocks. And so you're not exactly sure where to go. A lot of times they'll mark a tree on the other side of the boulder field. But looks like the trail, I'm guessing, goes up that way. So I've already taken a wrong turn once, and I had I got gut hooks far out. It's always gut hooks to me, because that's what I started out hiking the app, was gut hooks. But anyway, I got far out, and it's very helpful if you get off, because it works off satellite. So right now I'm in airplane mode, save battery. But if you get off trail, you think you're off trail, like in the case of that, it was a nice worn trail, and any other place on on the AT, it could have very well been the trail. Place on the AT, you can't even see the trail, it's all grown over, but there's a blaze. But in this case, it just didn't match the rest of the trail I'd been through. So I got out far out, and sure enough, I was off trail. Interesting enough, that trail actually would have come back onto the AT. So it's almost like it was either a bypass or other people had taken a wrong turn and just created that trail, because it wasn't that long. It was only 1/10 of a mile, but right where I got off, the trail, you know, it looked like it went forward, and you had it took a 90-degree turn. Now they did have blazes there that were stacked directly on top of each other, which typically indicates there's a trail intersection and not a AT turn. The SOP for a turn is double blazes with they're stacked on top of each other, but they're offset, and the top one's offset in the direction of the turn. In this case, that ain't what they done. So that was a bit confusing. Wasn't exactly sure, but didn't take me but 2 minutes to figure that out, and it sure made it easier when I saw gut hooks. And I mean, I wasn't but, I don't know, 75 yards down trail and actually I got to thinking about it right when I got on the trail. Like, this is a change in how well maintained it is. But I went about 50 or 75 yards, got out gut hook far out, and it showed I was off trail. So there you go. All right, we'll keep on rolling. All right, I am now in Pine Grove Furnace State Park. So we've been walking on this road for a while. It's about a half a mile till we get to wherever fresh ground is. No camping through here, and apparently sunrise and sunset's all you get. So anyway, this reminds me of that towpath up in Maryland, from Harper's Ferry north up to, I believe it's Weatherton Cliffs. Towpaths like this that are hard. I mean, they're just hard as a rock, hard on my feet. Must have a lot of bike riding here. Passed back at the gate, get in, there was actually a bike, one of those stands that municipalities purchase, and it's got all the tools on cables and an air pump and all that neat stuff you need to work on your bike. You have to do some repair work. So yep, I'm sure that's what this is. But anyway, this is Pine Grove Furnace State Park. So another 4/10 should be getting a refresher, and then we'll continue on to the Pine Grove Furnace. I don't know what it's called, but anyway, that's where the half-gallon challenge takes place. And there's the AT Museum. I will not be participating in the half-gallon challenge. I have no desire to eat a half-gallon's worth of ice cream. I'm still full from breakfast. So, but I might get me a small pint just to say I ate ice cream there. All right, we're still Sobo. Charlie Mike out. All right, we are walking on through Pine Grove Furnace, and there's an actual furnace there. So my assumption is they used to come in and smelt metal there. So anyway, we're coming into Iron Masters Hostel. That's it up on the hill. You get a better shot in a minute. That's supposed to be a really nice hostel. Might walk through there too since I'm here. And then the half-gallon challenge ice cream shop, which I think was invented just so they could sell a bunch of ice cream. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. All right, there's where everybody comes for their half-gallon challenge, and they are closed. That's what the sign says anyway. So no half-gallon challenge for us. But I didn't want to see it. This is it. All right. So the sign's wrong. They are open. So I stopped in and got to have ice cream at the ice cream challenge, right? So this is all I'm eating. I'm not going for the half-gallon challenge. And Dianimal didn't get anything, so apparently he is restricting his calorie intake. All right, we're going up here to the AT Museum and see if they're open. All right, so this is the Appalachian Trail Museum. Somewhere along the line we missed the cotton picking trail sign down there. I don't know how we missed that, but anyhow, that'll be a part that I have to come back and finish sometime. But we're gonna go in here. Can't we get in this bottom door? Or no, the main entrance is up there, isn't it?
Looks like they're shut down.
Oh my gosh. What is wrong with these people? Thought this wasn't run by the ATC. Well, they are closed up tight as Dick's hat band, so I guess we are SOL about coming here. Well, that sucks. All right, we're Subo bound. Wait a minute, that's redundant. We're Subo. All right, so this is Iron Masters. Look like they've got a door room kind of set up. Like a private suite. Upstairs dorm. Oh, that's pretty cool. Wow, goes up there for 3 stories. So I guess they've got it all rigged for hiker season. Like some computers maybe they let you use. Bigger room here. Yep. All right. Dining room, big old huge fireplace, which was normal for this time of era house. Various bug sprays and paraphernalia. Check in. All right. Very cool. Very cool. And the kitchen. All right, so there you have it. That is interior Iron Masters. Huge porch here. Got a grill. All right, that is Iron Masters Mansion and Hostel. I guess the folks that own this place was in charge of the furnace. Made the iron. All right. We'll move on along and get on down trail. So coming up on, if you're heading up on Iron Masters, this is a sketchy road walk because this is a busy road. So be careful here. A house I've noticed, so this is Michoud State Park, and they have a lot of cabins here, and they're not really, I don't think they're permanent dwellings. I've never seen a lot of cars around it. This is the middle of the week, but there are a lot of these log cabins like that with the wide chinking, but there's a lot of cabins in this area. And keep wanting a car. Mary Kay and her husband Mike, might be Mike, what we call him, because we're not sure if his name's Mike or not. Sorry Mike if you watch this. Yeah, so they've told us there's like 400 cabins in the Michoud Forest, which is where this is at. And so, you know, a lot of them are just, I mean, not a regular, but they're all older looking. Some of them are log, and not all of them are, but anyway, it's kind of interesting. I'm wondering, you know, since it's in a state park, do they own the house and just pay a yearly fee to lease the land, or how does that work? Somebody up here from Pennsylvania, I got a bunch of you that watch the channel know that. the answer to that, leave a comment down below. They are pretty cool. I live in the woods anyway, so and I dang sure ain't coming up to PA to go into the woods other than hiking. But they're neat. All right, heading on uphill. Get some lunch in about 4 miles. This is Tom's Run shelter. So it looks like, I don't know, you sleep maybe 6 in there. It's got tent pads down there, several picnic tables. It's like some hammocking places. They've got some hammocking poles. I'm assuming that's what that is. I don't know why you would need hammocking poles when you got all these trees. But anyway, got a fireplace here and a little gazebo over another picnic table up there. Spring and a privy. So as most PATC sites are, it has got a lot of stuff that's really nice. They tend to really go all out. There's some more tent pads up here, and another fireplace up here. What's really interesting in it looks like it used to be an old home place. Hang on, let me back up. So they got a bear pole here. That is really awesome because you can hang your bags up there and you don't have to, and it's got a bag hanger handle. You don't have to find a limb in a tree, so those are really nice to have. But back to the homestead thing. So there's an old fireplace here. So this at one time was somebody's home. So pretty cool to see as you walk through history. Certainly this is a historical section of the trail because of the Civil War. Now I think we are north of Gettysburg here. So the high water mark for the South was Gettysburg. So this was all Union soldiers. This unprotected water source boiled vigorously for 1 minute, treat or filter before. So there's the spring coming out of here, and it's definitely a dipper, as is most of the water sources I've seen so far, and even those are few and far between. So anyway, this was purely Union territory. The South was never through here. The Southern Army wasn't, because it's north of Gettysburg, and that's as far as they got. So anyway, really neat looking site there. And the PATC, the Potomac Appalachian Trail Club, they're a big club, and so they got a lot of resources. I'm sure they don't count on the ATC for a lot of funds. If you're a member of the PATC, I would like to know that, if I'm right or wrong about that. But their membership's so large that sure they can do without. Now that's a spring up there, but this is certainly a whole lot better water source right here. You're still going to filter your water source no matter what, but this is where I'd be coming to get it because it's not so much of a dipper. All right, continuing south. All right, so I don't know why I didn't video it when I was doing it, but anyhow, I just passed, I don't know, an hour or so ago, the Ceremonial halfway point of the Appalachian Trail. Halfway meaning halfway between Springer Mountain, Georgia, and Mount Katahdin in Baxter State Park, Maine. So that was the Ceremonial. So the trail has 3 halfway points: the Spiritual in Harper's Ferry, the Ceremonial here, and where I passed it here in the picture, and the actual. So the Spiritual doesn't move, obviously, because it's kind of the AT headquarters there. So it ain't going anywhere. Really not going anywhere. They do not move the Ceremonial. So, but what they do move is the actual. And the actual halfway point for 2024 was here. and I'll put the, I can't remember, I'll put the number of miles that it was down below. But anyway, yep, so it gets moved apparently every year, and it was trail south of the Ceremonial. So the trail apparently has gotten shorter since the Ceremonial was put up, since it's moved. Is that right? No, it's gotten longer since it moved the actual trail south. So there you go, walking on this woods road, fairly flat, not always, but I'm on top of this hill, and you never know it because there's not any kind of view up here, not any kind of breeze blowing, so it's hot. And yeah, so should be coming into another probably 1.5 miles, 2 miles, coming into a road there where got some watermelon waiting. Interesting enough, I'm getting ready to come up on a road called Dead Widows Road. It's either Dead Widows or Dead Woman's Road. I guess it would be the same if you were a widow, unless it was recent. And yeah, we're just not going to go there. All right, we are on this road here, and we'll see. Should stay like this for a while, and I think I got 2 more slight ups, and then we'll be down to the cabin. Okie-doke. All right, last 4 miles for the day. Just got the watermelon. Had a great conversation with a former ridge runner who's now a nurse. Wow, my kids are nurses. My mama used to be a nurse. Anyhow, yeah, great conversation with him, telling us some war stories about manhunts and lost persons and stuff like that. If people he was looking for as a ridge runner didn't know they'd participate in stuff like that. So that's pretty wild, but I guess they know the trail better than anybody, so that's part of the purpose. But anyhow, last 4 miles, and then we're done for this 20-mile day. Yeah, be back at the cabin. So we'll do a wrap up later on. This has been another great day. We'll chat about that in a bit. Every now and then on the AT, you'll come across these fir forests. I mean, these things are just, it's just awesome. So majestic, and they ain't nothing but fir trees in here. And I know up on Unicoi Mountain and in Vermont, we came across one, so I always love walking through them. Just to begin with, they're mainly pine needles. You don't have to deal with the rocks so much. There's the roots, but you can deal with them. But just all these huge trees in here. Just love being out here in it. So that's the end of day 3. Didn't do a closeout. Here's a closeout now. And I know it's been a while, almost a year since I actually took that hike, but I want to go ahead and get the rest of these videos out before I start back in Pennsylvania this year. And in that way, so that all my videos from Springer to here, and of course Massachusetts, Vermont, all those will be online, because I know people out there watch these before they get out there and do their hike. So that's just here to help folks out where I can, and you know, that's what I'm about. That's what this channel's about. Anyway, stay tuned for day 4. The rest of the days in Pennsylvania are over here. All right, talk to you in a bit.